Well, hello and welcome to another great edition of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There's a lot to unpack for you. There are games that went on throughout the day on Saturday. We'll be yet to look into it for you, and that's exactly why we are here, especially in the context of an English Premier League and of course in the Spanish La Liga. If you look at the game that went on, Barca did an excellent job, got a win, and I think that that's where they want to build from. For Xavi, this is the kind of team that he would have loved to have built, but he's leaving, and his team seems to be getting the job done. And I saw it in the game that they played against Napoli in the Champions League over last week, and this time they've done it again in the Spanish La Liga. Exciting stuff for them. Again, this is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the channel, like I always do on YouTube, to pause the video, go back and subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. It's imperative that you do so. Also, make sure that you turn on notification, you comment, let us hear from you. I love to hear from you. I want to know your comments. The English Premier League fight is a three-horse race, and it is poised. Who wins the Liverpool, Arsenal, or Manchester City? I'll tell you why it favors one of those teams in the English Premier League. So my name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And don't forget that there is a hidden tactic that we just found out. The only way Chelsea looks like they can upset Liverpool tomorrow in the Carabao Cup final. But let's start the analysis from Barcelona and in the Spanish La Liga. Of course, if Xavi is leaving, one of the things that he would want to do is that at the very least he's going to get Barca to play in the Champions League next season. It's not far-fetched. It's something that they can do. But in the context of Madrid's consistency, Girona's consistency, and then of course the fact that Atletico de Madrid against Las Palmas got the job done, it is difficult, and they themselves know that they need to be consistent as the rest of the Spanish La Liga teams, else they may lose out on the Champions League. And again, the Champions League is not any team's birthright, especially in a season where Girona, which is not a traditional Champions League team in Spain, is performing very well. So of course Xavi needs, and that's win today, and João Felix spoke about it. Frankie de Jong was excellent in how Barcelona played today. They dictated the pace of the game, they controlled the game largely, and then they were better side, and then got the important points. Now, the bigger question away from the Spanish La Liga is in the English Premier League. So, over the midweek, Liverpool were able to stand Luton. Luton went up by a goal to 0 at Anfield, but Liverpool, being Liverpool, came back. They were aggressive. They imposed themselves in the games. In a game, and we're able to get that all-important win. And I think that that's the team with Liverpool. They have a fairly easy run at the English Premier League trophy. Again, they are playing most of the games that are left in at Anfield. So from now to the last game that they're going to play against Wolverhampton Wanderers, everybody that comes at Anfield knows that it's literally going to be a baptism of fire for them. It's not going to be easy playing against Liverpool at Anfield, because they've shown their mettle, they've proved their mettle, they've shown to be very good with and without the ball. And the Anfield crowd make it even extra difficult for you to play them. So nearly Liverpool went up by a goal to 0, and I think I have to commend how Luton did play. They put in a fight, they put in a shift. Ogbeni and the likes in central areas, Albert Sambilo Konga were able to win the second balls. When Andros Thompson came on, he made it difficult for Liverpool. But then again, the quality of Luis Diaz and how Liverpool are almost switched on at any point in time. You look at that Virgil van Dijk goal, the equalizer, and it is clear that corner throw-in was taken quickly when the Luton team were focused on something else on the touchline. Liverpool got the goal, got the equalizer, made it 2-1 from Cody Gakpo also in the second goal, and then again finally Luis Diaz put the icing on the cake. And that's the quality of the Liverpool team. Quality. And now to the end of the season, they'll be able to show that consistency, that quality, that fighting spirit, especially at Anfield and even in away games. Then it tells you that it's going to be difficult for Man City. It's obviously going to be difficult for Arsenal. And mind you, Man City and Liverpool have a game. Then that's going to be one of the deciding games in March. One of the deciding games, because Man City have Manchester United, they have Brighton, they have Tottenham Hotspur, they have Liverpool on the horizon, and of course in there is also the Copenhagen game. And for City, for one, seeing Liverpool win, they also winning in midweek in their outstanding match against Brentford. For me, I felt that today's game against Antonio Areola's side at the Vitality was always going to be a banana skin for them, and it was. In the first half, City essentially dictated the pace of the game. Pep went into that starting 11 without Kevin De Bruyne, because obviously he has to manage the minutes of Kevin De Bruyne with that hamstring injury that he has had. Now, he coming back into the team had to be managed. Now, it means that he went into that game with Rodri, Matthew Kovacic in central areas, and then had Nunez, Bernardo Silva. There was a whole lot of attacking aids and number 10s, because of course he wanted to make do and augment the lack of creativity that the absence of Kevin De Bruyne was going to come. So in central areas, it was Kovacic and then Rodri, but then Kovacic was more higher up the pitch, and it was rather the two sitters were John Stones and Rodri. Then there was Kovacic on the left hand side, where usually Jeremy Doku plays. It was Matthias Nunez, Phil Foden from the other end, and then he had Erling Haaland centrally. It's also Bernardo Silva in the game, and it tells you the quality that he wanted to have in his game in there, to dictate the pace of the game, to have total dominance in the game, to control the game, to make sure that they are in it, because they need an Andoni Areola team and very stubborn side. And in the first half, they dominated this. They were able to use the hold-up play of Erling Haaland, and look at that goal that they scored. Erling Haaland was excellent in holding up the centre forward, and then a very good off-the-ball run from Phil Foden. Got a very good job and a tapping. I mean, whilst it was just a tapping, you look at the quality of the run from out wide, and I think that's the quality of Phil Foden. The control of games in between the lines when the spaces are tighter, the close control, the fact that he's able to sniff danger and take advantage of the fact that his striker took off the centre back away, and then there was space in there for him to attack and got a goal. In the second half, that's where City's mettle were actually showed, because in the second half, Bournemouth were brilliant. Bournemouth uses Senusi. They used what's his name, the former Liverpool attacker, the one that played for Chelsea. They used him. They used Antoine Semenyo. And I think that the job that Antoine Semenyo did at the wing was excellent. And he's a kind of player that coaches have gotten the best of. I mean, in terms of his all-round game as a winger. Antoine Semenyo, mind you, from the Championship came into play as a centre forward, but in this current Bournemouth setup, he plays as a winger, and he is not the best dribbler. He's not an excellent direct pacey winger, but he works hard for the team. And then also the fact that he does things simplistically. I mean, when Sanusi is making the off-the-ball runs behind him, he simply lays it off and then dashes and receives the ball, then puts in across. And that's the quality of Antoine Semenyo in. And in the first half, Bournemouth created some quality chances. Quality chances across the field of play. They made it difficult for Manchester City. They went at them, they pressed them, they won the balls in central areas, then they played forward. And Domenico Solanke was the player I was talking about. He was very, very good in those pockets for Bournemouth. And that's the quality that you get from a team like that. In the second half, that's how I expected Bournemouth to play, and they did. And they made it difficult for Manchester City. I bet Manchester City were able to hold on to get that all-important 3 points. And then the big game came later in the night again for Arsenal and then Newcastle. Seeing Liverpool win in midweek, seeing Manchester City win just hours before a game, and then you coming up against a very difficult team in Newcastle. Mind you, last season, part of the teams that Arsenal went to and lost, and people thought, okay, this is where Arsenal lost the trophy, was away at Newcastle, and even at home at Newcastle, that draw. So Arsenal knew that this is a game where they need to get the result. And Mikel Arteta did something very, very stylistic of him, very characteristic of him, but then essentially based on the game state and the kind of game that he was going to. So, of course, the back four was Magalhaes, it was Saliba, it was Benjamin White and Kyrgios. Very robust, very combative back four, but essentially to use the ball playing ability of Ben White and then Magalhaes and Saliba to make the back three, then the physicality of Kyrgios from that zone. Then in the middle of the park, however, he took off Leandro Trossard, of course, in there, brought in Jorginho, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. Then up top it was Xhaka, Gabriel Martinelli, and then Xhaka, Gabriel Martinelli, and then Kai Havertz, which is good because he knew that Newcastle could be very physical. Sometimes they had to go long. Sometimes they had to use the frame of Kai Havertz, which was very good. But I think that the game was actually won in the double pivot of Declan Rice and then Jorginho in there, because Jorginho was able to get a lot of time to dictate the pace of the game, to throw in those passes because he was shielded by Declan. Again, one of the beautiful jobs that Declan did was that he was, and I've said it several times about Declan Rice consistently, about how he sniffs danger and quickly gets in with a counter press. A lot of the times, Newcastle were trying to build up from the back, and what Declan Rice would do essentially was to come from deep and then nick it here, so that Arsenal will have willing runners in Gabriel Martinelli, Xhaka, and then of course Kai Havertz getting in behind, and it was the job of him. But anytime Arsenal were also on the ball, he was always very close, always in close proximity with Jorginho here, so that he can shield Jorginho. You know already at Jorginho, when Jorginho was at Chelsea, one of the things that people could do to him was always target him, because he didn't have that security on the ball. Declan Rice provided that security in Arsenal's structure in these zones anytime Jorginho was on the ball. And that helped, that gave Arsenal control, that gave Arsenal an edge over Arsenal. And of course, you do this, and Jorginho's quality begin to show. And when you look at the goal that Kai Havertz scored, it's exactly from that. Jorginho from deep found the ball in behind. Gabriel Martinelli was making those excellent runs, got the ball. Kai Havertz came from deep. Because Gabriel Martinelli had made a run, almost every centre back for Newcastle had gone to the byline, followed the ball. There was space here, excellent tapping. Of course, that was the second goal. The first goal was a Botman own goal. That Livramento kicked the ball to hit Botman's knee, and then it went in. And Arsenal's quality began to turn up from there. Xhaka got the goal. Of course, Joe Willock come back got a goal, but then the game had already died by then. And that's the quality of Arsenal. So all three teams tend to be winning. This is about 2 points between the two. 1 point between Man City and Arsenal, 1 point between Liverpool, and then of course Manchester City, and all of them have played the same number of games. Now it's goal time. Everybody should go and see, and we'll enjoy it. We'll stay put. We'll enjoy it, and we'll see how it goes. And I found out something later in the day, and I think I need to talk about this. And I've said it, and I don't think I've said it as much, and that's exactly why I want to come on it. And again, if you're a Chelsea fan, one of the things you ought to understand is that tomorrow's game, there is immediately Chelsea starts the game, and Chelsea are losing physical duels. You have to give up on the game. Chelsea cannot afford to go to Wembley tomorrow and be losing physical duels. They need to win the duels. They need to win the duels. And yes, in terms of physical specimen, they are not it, but they need to find a way to win the duels. They need to find a way to make the 50-50 ball stick to their feet and then push on and play from there. And I think that's the hidden secret of how Chelsea can beat Liverpool tomorrow. Because tactically, technically, Liverpool is as good as them. And if you listen to what Pep Wenger said, he says do not allow Chelsea to see the ball in between the lines. From Enzo Fernandez, from Cole Palmer, from Nicolas Jackson, do not allow them to see the ball in between the lines. And for every team that's preventing you from receiving the ball in between the lines, what they want to do is that they want to be aggressive. They want to be aggressive. They want to stop you from receiving the ball from you. So immediately you touch the ball with your back to go, they come in hard at you. So if the ball is loose in this area, Chelsea have to be first to it, and it has to stick. It has to stick so they can transit, so they can get in behind and create something. That is the only way Chelsea can stand a chance against Liverpool tomorrow. If not, there is no way Chelsea are going to be able to beat Liverpool. They need to be physical, they need to be aggressive, they need to win duels, and they need to take the game to Liverpool. If they're unable to take the game to Liverpool, then it's a dead game, it's a dead match. Nothing is going to happen for Chelsea Football Club tomorrow. But hey, the old draw the curtains tomorrow. In the morning, we'll bring you another great analysis to look at tomorrow's games that are going to come early. And then, of course, we prepare for the big game. Right after that, also, we'll bring you the post-match analysis and all of that, the quick reaction in there. And then we'll look at the game in detail the next day. My name is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you.